See, like, I'm quite insecure somehow.
Mhm.
I have, like, quite low self-esteem. But, like, I never used to think I was pretty. But then I got to a certain age, and, like, loads of people started telling me I'm pretty. But it's not like, I don't know how to feel about it. But it's not like it makes me feel really good and I'm like,
No,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
so sexy, like all the boys love me, you know.
No,
It's
yeah.
just a passing thing that people will say.
Why'd you say all the boys love me?
Said all the boys love me, maybe because I feel more validated by boys, or
Oh, I see. Because I
or
do that too.
their love only makes me feel good. Like if I'm with a girl, I don't feel like I don't care about being fat or whatever. Because I guess I get my validation from guys. But I don't care about validation from guys anymore. Even if I was with a girl now, I would just feel the same, I think.
Really?
Because I'm just past that stage where I like just care about what people think or like what I look like. I don't care anymore. I'm just like, I feel just like, in that sense, I kind of feel like I don't have much gender identity because I don't feel pretty like a girl and I don't care about validation, but then I also don't feel like a boy, so I'm just kind of like in this tomboy sort of spectrum thing. You know, some people just aren't masculine or feminine. So like some people, they know they're a girl, but they're like not masculine or feminine. They're just like they're just
amalgamation.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel sometimes. I don't know where it comes from because I've got over all these issues, but I don't know
where the insecurities come from.
I don't know if it does it come from the media, people telling me to be skinny. Because I look at my body and I think that I'm thin. I know that. I can be a bit chubby sometimes, but I shouldn't think that I need to change my body. But sometimes I do.
Anyway,
How we met.
to how we met.
So,
Well, not how we met, but how we became friends, I guess.
you were bringing up stuff about how like it was fine to be queer or gay or whatever, or like how I remember also Immy was talking about their friend who was genderqueer at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that was a load of bullshit. I was like so angry about it because I didn't maybe it was all like me just knowing that was me and then resisting it.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was all like an
Because
internal
all you'd ever
conflict.
known was like,
Christian, gonna get married, gonna have babies with a
Yeah.
man. We used to pray for it. We used to like sit down and
What
be like,
the
I hope I
fuck?
find a Christian husband and have like kids. I remember even saying to people like, oh, you know, I'll never have sex till I'm married. Because
what, in casual conversation?
yeah, like I remember me and Lauren Badley talking about why we were gonna stay virgins until we were married because it made it more special. I remember we were like year 7. I remember I really wanted you to like accept my opinions. So I
felt the same.
So I had to try and adapt what I believed to kind of like be more sugar-coated so it fit you.
Yeah.
So then I had that stupid pancake metaphor where I was like, oh, you know how like everyone can eat pancakes differently.
Yeah.
Now I remember as a revelation. I came in
You
so
came in beside like, Abby, I've got it!
it was like my whole world was changed. It was like I saw God, right? I burst in like, some people eat savoury pancakes, and I was like, it's just like sexuality. Some people can be gay. I remember Olivia Barnard turning around in geography and going, did you hear? Peter's gonna ask Rachel out. And I remember feeling like fucking furious. I went home like every night and I was just convinced that I was like in love with, like I was so convinced. And like I remember like I was hating myself for it. Because I was like, you can't be, she's a woman, you're not gay. And I remember being like so angry, but I couldn't help it. I would have been super closeted if I'd have like stayed with like that friendship group. Like because I left and had you, I became like this like flourished, manly gay creature that I'm really proud of.
I feel like I identify with bisexual people more because, like, I know it's weird because people like queer people don't just walk around being like, oh, look how queer we all are together, queering. When you're walking around with a group of people and you know that like all of them are bi, and then like a girl goes past or a boy goes past, and you can be like, oh, they were pretty perfect, and you can just like talk about it together. You don't have to worry about it being weird or like making people uncomfortable. I do see myself ending up with one gender or the other, or I see myself ending up with one gender, not like one or the other. That's weird and binary. But that's because I see myself ending up with one person forever. Like I'd be committing to a person. I wouldn't be committing to like end up with a man and never think a girl's fit again. If there's like a bi person and they're dating someone of the opposite sex, whatever gender, whatever. Basically, if they're a bi person in a straight relationship, there's like a little thing in me that's like, I wanted it to be gay. But like, they're not any less bi, and then I'm like, check yourself. I mean, I guess that's just because I'm like starved of representation. And when someone who I look up to is bi, I'm like, I want to see them like in a gay relationship because that would like that would make me happy.
Yeah.
But like their life is not mine. Don't you think it's weird how the word androgyny is like a deliberate fusion of andro and gyno? But people always abbreviate it just to andro.
That was an iconic moment. Is in pans.
That's why I said flipping the pans, Kate.
Oh, you do make me laugh.
Now I want to say flipping the trans, Kate. Part of me, sometimes I'm like, I just want to grow my hair back out and go back to being like all feminine and stuff, just because it'd be so much easier. But then I'm like, I think about that, and I think I noticed it particularly when I was making my folder of aesthetic inspiration people and like my fashion icons and the way that I want to see, like the way that I want to look and what I'm aiming for and stuff, and it's just all men, but like feminine men. I think for me, it doesn't change how I view myself, but how others view me. It's exhausting a lot of the time trying to get other people to view me the way I view myself. So sometimes I'm like, why not just try and view myself the way that other people view me instead?
No.
Never work. I always go back to looking at pictures of Harry Styles and being like, oh, I wish that was me. I would really like to redistribute the fat on my body and have a lower voice. When I started allowing myself to cry at like telly things, I think that's a really safe way to channel vulnerability. I never cried in front of my family, and I was hugely like embarrassed and like not ashamed, but I just didn't like it when it happened if I ever did. But like recently, like you saw over Christmas, I was with Annabelle and just sobbed for like a full hour because of a Glee episode, and that's really like, it's a really good way, I think, to exercise vulnerability, because it's not, well, maybe not actually vulnerability, because you're like surface level vulnerable. So you're crying, which is vulnerable, but you're not crying because of
something that's actually happening.
anything to do with you. Like, you don't have to expose yourself in crying. Having started crying at like telly and videos of Harry Styles waving pride flags and songs that make me happy and so on and so on, it's massively empowering, because it's just, crying on its own is really good catharsis. And if, like me, you struggle to cry because of emotional things, like I've been waiting fucking like a year and 3 months to cry about something and I've not cried about it yet. But I can cry in 10 minutes if you put the right song on. I think it's really freeing because it's cathartic to cry at things. Because of the people that I like model myself after, I've talked about Harry so much, so I'm going to continue talking about Harry because he's a good example in this case, and I'm also going to open up my aesthetic inspiration folder to look at some more boys who I model myself after. I think I am much more comfortable embracing femininity because I model myself after a lot of quite feminine gay and bi men. So it doesn't bother me so much. What does bother me is that I know that when I'm doing these things, I'm not perceived in the same way that the people I model myself after are perceived in, which is frustrating. And like quite upsetting at times because it seems like my whole identity is futile. I'm more comfortable with it in myself. The only thing that is uncomfortable, or not is uncomfortable but causes me discomfort at times, is knowing the way that it's being perceived by others. In terms of social dysphoria, it definitely is not comfortable for me being lumped in as like one of the girls, which is why I don't know though, I feel quite intimidated by cis boys because like I know the way that most of them will be perceiving me. So I end up being friends with like most of the girls. It can seem like the most weird out there thing because if they're not non-binary then they absolutely have no way of knowing how it feels to not be. But if you're not a dickhead and then someone explains the concept of a gender spectrum to you, then most people gather pretty quickly. I feel good about myself when I can do something that I know will make my friends happy, and then they get really happy about it.
Aww.
It's very gratifying to know that I know people well and that they appreciate things that I do. I feel good about myself when I pull off an estate that I'm shooting for really well, and I feel good about myself when I do well in uni and I know that I'm being like the best version of myself.